Desk. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. As you know, Shabbat is the holiest, or arguably the holiest day of our year. We're glad that it comes once a week. We're especially glad that you're here to worship with us. What we do for a Bat Mitzvah service is essentially a regular service, but somebody else gets to lead it. I don't get to do the leading. She's being kind and letting me do some of it because she's letting me do guitar parts and singing parts, but she gets to lead most of the service today. She also gets to read Torah, and that's an amazingly impressive thing to do. If you are here for the first time, then welcome. I hope that you find that it's a comfortable, warm, friendly place to be. And let me show you some things. In front of you is the prayer book. There are some dark gray ones. Most of you have light gray ones. They're identical books. It's just some of them turn pages as if you're reading an English book, and some of them turn pages as if you're reading a Hebrew book. The light ones in front of you, you're going to be turning pages as if it's an English book, because most of the service is actually in English. And when it's in Hebrew, most of the time, the transliteration is there, which means what I call looks like English, sounds like Hebrew. But anytime there's a transliteration, 99.9% of the time, I think there's one prayer that we say that they did not put the translation in that section. It comes up early in the prayer, in the service. But every other time, if you see Hebrew, you'll see transliteration under it, and then you'll see a translation right afterwards. So most of the time, we are only going to do those prayers one time. On occasion, we'll do it in Hebrew and then in English. Most of the time when we do prayers in Hebrew, you're welcome to join us if you want. You can fake the Hebrew if you want. You can read the English if you'd like. I would like to think that there is no one in this room who wouldn't be able to say amen or amen to everything that we say. I think you'll find it a very comfortable service to be at, and we're glad that you're here. And, you know, on a typical Friday night, often about a third of the congregation is not Jewish, because it is a warm, inviting place to come. And I think that you'll find that you are going to have a beautiful spiritual experience here, because Abby, our Bat Mitzvah, our young lady of the day of the event of Shabbat, is she's very inspiring. I have learned an awful lot from her this year. So I invite you, please. What we like to do when we begin our Shabbat is we remember that everything that happened this past week. Like, can you remember back to Friday? You remember back to last Friday? It was a long time ago, wasn't it? It was a whole month ago. It was January. So if you remember back to last Friday and you think of all the things you did this week, lately I've been asking the people who come, what did you do this week that made the world a better place? And hopefully, it could have been take a nap. That would be okay. It could have been something awesome, like saved some lives. It could have been something simple, like made sure you smiled when you saw the people that you loved. But whatever it is that you did, think about it, reflect, and look towards this coming week to see what you could do this week to make the world a better place. And the important thing is everything that is in this room now, there's just peace and calm and rest. So hopefully all of the to-do lists that you had, any of the things that were stressing you out for this week, you left them outside the door. I like to tell you that they're here if you want to pick them up again Saturday evening, tomorrow night after after sundown, but you can leave them there. They'll still be here Sunday. It's kind of nice to just ignore them for a few days. But for today, they're not here. So the next thing that we do to get ready for Shabbat is we take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale through your mouth, and it will make you feel more relaxed. Let it out slowly. You're not breathing. You're supposed to breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And do it again. And breathe, breathe, breathe. And do you feel your shoulders come down a little bit? Nope. Shoulders down. Relax. Relax. We begin Shabbat, as we do almost any holy day because it starts in the evening, with lighting the candles. And we use what's supposed to be wine or pretend wine as our symbol of joy. And those are the symbols that we use to make sure that we know that we are starting a holy day. We turn to page 65. And I want to let you know something important, that Abby has chosen some people to honor. And if you have not been asked to be honored yet, then you're off the hook. Don't worry about it. So she has asked Bethany and Alan Sorky to help us lead the blessings for the welcoming Shabbat. Our tradition is that we rise for this. If we were at home, we would rise, and it's as if we're at home. So page 65.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
Let there be joy.
Let there be light.
Let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat. We continue on pages 167 and 166 with the Kiddush, the sanctification of the day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pori pori hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
166.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work, and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. You are welcome to be seated, but first you're supposed to greet each other with a Shabbat Shalom, a Sabbath of peace, or a good Shabbos. If you don't want to hug or kiss because we're afraid of the germs, you could elbow. Come on, elbow. We're going to elbow. Shabbat Shalom. We're not sharing germs today. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with welcoming. Now you're going to use your imagination. We like to think of Shabbat as a bride, and we are the groom. So we continue at the bottom of page 66, where we are going to welcome Shabbat. And Abby has allowed me to sing this version of the song. It's in English, and actually my dad wrote this melody. You are welcome to join with me. It's in English. Beloved, come to meet the bride, beloved. come to greet Shabbat, beloved. Come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat. Keep and remember a single command the only God caused us to hear. The eternal is one, God's name is one. God's our honor and glory and praise. This is your part. Beloved, come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat, beloved. Come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat. Come with me to meet Shabbat. Forever a fountain of blessing. Still it flows as from the start, the last of days for which the first was made. Beloved, come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat, beloved. Come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat. Awake, awake, your light has come. Arise, shine, awake, and sing. Awake, awake, your light has come. The eternal's glory dawns upon you. Beloved, come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat, beloved. Come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat. Enter in peace, O crown of your husband. Enter in gladness, enter in joy. Come to the people that keeps its faith. Enter, O bride, enter, O bride. Beloved, come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat, beloved. Come to meet the bride, beloved. Come to greet Shabbat.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness and the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary, search and in need, all who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill our words and intentions with acts of kindness, peace, and love. We continue on page 68, and that was my cue. I was supposed to put my guitar in my hand. We sing the song that says, we are glad to be here together. How good and how pleasant it is that we are here together. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. We continue with the Reader's Kaddish on page 69. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uv וביום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמרה במברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
As day departs, as the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heavens. In awe and wonder, our hearts cry out.
Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
A vast universe. Who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are we? What are our hopes and dreams? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us?
And yet, within us abides a measure of your spirit. You are remote, but oh how near, ordering the stars in the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of evening we seek the light of your presence.
One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love.
We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malachuto, Le'olam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, and a world waiting still to be redeemed, give us, O source of good, the courage to say, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love.
From Egypt, the house of bondage, we were delivered. At Sinai, amid peals of thunder, we bound ourselves to your purpose. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, we survived oppression and exile time and again, overcoming the forces that would have destroyed us.
Our failings are many, our faults are great, and yet it has been our glory to witness to our God and to keep alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed.
May this vision never fade. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we sing with one accord, as Moses, Miriam, and Israel sang at the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh.
V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will.
We praise you, guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world.
God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in loyalty to our covenant with you and the way of life it demands, the way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and peace.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 76. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chaste Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they saw you in their lives. Now their quest is ours. Help us, O God, to celebrate the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for the truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer to realization the great hope inherited from ages past for a world transformed by liberty, justice, and peace. Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are the source of life and blessing.
Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling.
Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom.
Help us to free the captive.
You are the hope in death as in life.
Lead us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good.
You are holy. Your name is holy, and those who strive to be holy, declare your glory day by day. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, קורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, קורא עונג שבת. מקדש שבי שבת, כולם יספהו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, קורא עונג שבת. השבי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת השבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, קורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, קורא עונג שבת. We read together at the top of 79. God of Israel, may our worship on this Sabbath bring us near to all that is high and holy. May it bind the generations in bonds of love and sharing, and unite us with our people in common hope and faith. And through Sabbath rest and worship, may we learn to find fulfillment and joy in the vision of peace for all the world. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There, may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, O God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Well, sorry. Okay, there it is. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol shah v'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. You may have noticed that Abby said she likes the way I sing and she wanted me to sing and she asked me to be her cantor. And I had never done that before. I've been a soloist many times and she said, would you do that? I had one job. I just blew it. Sorry about that. I had one job. So I appreciate you trusting me. I'll try to do better. We're all allowed to make a few mistakes, right? Thank you. Up until now in our service, the words that we have been saying are words that have been given to us. At this time, we take a moment to say the words that are in our hearts as we pray silently. Yehiu leratzon imre fi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri tzuri Ali Adonai tzuri v'go'ali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. God, my rock and my redeemer. God, my rock and redeemer. This time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. We turn to the, we turn to the inside back cover of our prayer books. And I'm going to invite you to call out names for whom you would like us to be praying, anyone who is in need of healing, recuperation. You can call them all out at the same time. God can hear all the names. You don't have to wait. For all these names, for the names we choose to hold in our hearts and not say out loud, anybody you forgot to say, for all these people, we pray together. Oh God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. It has become our tradition to add, Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. May they return home safely, and let us say Amen. So at this point in our service, we're about to do a Torah service. When we do the Torah service, there are Torahs hiding in there, right behind that tree of life. We will open up the ark. Our tradition is that when we open the ark, we all rise out of respect for the words. The words in the Torah are the first 5 books of Moses, which you know I like to remember as General Electric Lights Never Dim. Genesis. Anyway, all right, so we're going to be reading from the book of Exodus today, arguably from a story that is the most awesome story in all of history. It was, we stood at Sinai, we received the law, there wasn't a bird that peeped, or there wasn't a sound, and God's voice was so big that you could see it. And that's part of this week's Torah portion. But like my son 14 years ago who had this Torah portion, Abby didn't want to do that awesome moment. That's not the part she chose. The Torah portion is about this long, and she could choose any part of it that she wanted. And she chose a part that had lots of meaning to it that you may not be as familiar with, which is a lot like what Abby does. She doesn't have to go for the thing that everybody already knows. She's awesome at finding insights in other places. So she will read a section, and then she will translate it, and then she will explain the things that she found insightful about it, and I think you'll be inspired by her. So first, let me tell you what happens when we have our pomp and circumstance about the Torah service. we will take the Torah out, and as I said, we'll open the ark, and this is where people will be honored. And I'm going to remind you that nobody practiced these honors, so if it's awkward, it's okay. It makes Abby look good. So please don't get it right. It's good. No, it's okay. So one of the things that's going to happen is we like to show that the words that God gave us are words that are not something that you keep hidden in a closet somewhere, but it's words that you take out and it's part of us. And you can have access to it. So as the Torah comes out, you'll see a number of people want to touch the Torah and kiss it. Sometimes they'll take a prayer book and touch and kiss. Now, we are going to go up that way and come back this way, and so not everybody is going to be able to reach the Torah. So we have what we like to call Torah electricity. That's what I call it. So let's say the Torah is going past. I touch the Torah, and I pass it to the next person, and they pass it to the next person. And what if you don't want to kiss the Torah? I could take it and just pass it, because it's really nice to let it get to the person at the end anyway. And so that is what will happen. We will march the Torah back and up, and then we will undress the Torah and read the Torah. And oh yeah, you have little boxes at the end of your aisles. Oh yeah, she's saying, oh no, we almost forgot about the boxes. It says, do not open it until the rabbi tells you when to open it. I will still show you when to open it. Don't open it yet. Don't open it yet. I will show you when to open it, but it's going to be after Abby finishes reading her Torah, after she tells us her insights about it, somewhere around there, your clue that you're supposed to toss what's in that box, which is soft candy. Toss soft candy at Abby to show her that learning is sweet, not to show her that bat mitzvahs are painful, to show her that learning is sweet. Please gently, we like to do it like gentle toss. Try not to get it into, we said Renee's bat mitzvah just a few years ago when she did her bat mitzvah service, this room wasn't finished yet. So she didn't get to do her ceremony here. That was horrible. We really intended her to do it here, but it wasn't ready yet. So when they designed this just 3 years ago, I don't know what they were thinking when they put these candy baskets hanging from the ceiling. Please don't get it into the candy baskets. Please be gentle and not hit that too hard. That's glass. Please be gentle and show her that learning is sweet. And then once we finish with the candy, the kids can come up and grab the candy. And I still would rather you not eat it in the sanctuary because that's messy. As soon as you get out, you could eat it as much as you want. So I think that's what I need to tell you about the Torah portion and everything, right? Anything I miss? Okay, good. She's my rabbi today, so I get to ask her what's going on. So, having said all that, we turn to page 141, and I have my list here, I ask my Torah openers to start getting ready, but we turn to page 141, and this is the moment we read about. Assembled at a mountain, our people, still bent from oppression, found you, found your Torah, found your truth, and embraced the destiny that has shaped worlds. Help us still to shape the world according to your will. Help us to teach and to learn, to hear your word anew, and to find in it our path to goodness and truth. Please rise as the ark is open. El harachamim hetiva virtzonecha et Sion tivne chomot Yerushalayim. I was supposed to say we're on page 142. Tivne chomot Yerushalayim ki v'cha levad batachnu melech el ram v'nisa adon olamim. Let us declare the greatness of our God and give honor to the Torah. Ki mitzion tetze Torah, ki mitzion tetze Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, La'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. Beit Yaakov, L'chu v'nelcha be'or Adonai, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of our God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlu Adonai iti uneromim Hashemo yachtav. O magnify the Eternal with me, and together let us exalt God's name. We are going to be singing from page 141 on the bottom because it's got transliteration. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gmilut chasadim. You may be seated. Yeah.
Oh shoot, I gotta get that.
I need this. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
She's been ready. So, hold on. So I'm going to call you first. You know where we are? Yep. Okay, we got it. Ready? Ta'amod Chana Leah bat Shmuel v'Michela bat Mitzvah. I take this.
Is that it? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin, v'natan lanu et Torto. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Thank you.
You got it?
Yep.
Panels.
Where is it?
I think you can find it.
There?
There it is. Yeah.
Vayomer Moshe lahotno, ki yavo Eli ha'am lidrosh Elohim. Ki yehiyeh lahem davar ba Eli, v'shavatati bein ish uvein re'ehu, v'hodati et hukei ha'Elohim. Vet Toratav. Vayomer hoten Moshe Elav, lo tov hadavar asher ata Oseh. Navolti bo gam ata gam ha'am hazeh asher imach ki chaved mimcha hadavar lo tuchal asohu levadecha. Levadecha, it's right there. It's there. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nata lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, b'rakat Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We now need to call up our lifter, Dan, and we need to call up our dressers. Yeah, you're going to have it in a sec. In a sec. Hey, he's a pro lifter. Yeah,
Okay.
somebody knows what he's doing.
Right or left? Where do I go?
Come out of the way, right here.
I'm on
You're
the
going to stand
right.
on this side.
Cool.
Yeah, right. Please rise. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. Can you tell us what you read? You may be seated.
Where's the new one? My Torah selection is from the book of Exodus, chapter 18. This is the story from my Torah portion that I want to share with you. Moses told his father-in-law all that the Eternal had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the hardships that had befallen them along the way, and how the Eternal saved them. And Yitro rejoiced because of all the goodness which the Eternal had done to Israel when he had delivered them from the hand of the Egyptians. And Yitro said, Blessed be the Eternal, who has saved you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has saved the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Eternal is greater than all gods, for the Eternal was above all the things they tried to scheme. And Yitro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God, and Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to share a meal with Moses, his father-in-law, before God. And it came to pass on the next day that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning to evening. But when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he had to do for the people, he said, What is this thing that you do to the people? Why do you sit by yourself alone, and all the people stand by you from morning to evening? And Moses said to his father-in-law, Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come to me, and I judge between one and another, and I make them know the laws and teachings of God. And Moses' father-in-law said to him, The thing that you do is not good. You will certainly wear away, both of you, and this people who are with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it yourself alone.
So now she's going to tell you some cool things about her Torah portion, slowly and carefully, so everybody can hear you. That's what she's going to do.
This week's Torah portion includes the awesome description of the experience of when we stood at Sinai and received the law. That is not the part I would like to talk about today. I want to talk about Yitro. The name of the portion is Yitro. That was the name of Moses' father-in-law. In English, it is usually translated as Jethro, but I will call him Yitro. He was the high priest of Midian. Why would the rabbis choose to name the Torah portion after a high priest of a pagan religion? In the part that I just read, it explains ways that Yitro was not only a positive influence on Moses, his son-in-law, but he may have also been the first person the Torah shows as becoming Jewish. One of the things I loved about this section is that it is not totally clear if he became Jewish or not. I think that it is great that the Torah lets us try to figure out what happened. Yitro offered a sacrifice to Adonai, but it was up to interpretation to decide if that meant he became Jewish. That is one of the many things I like about being Jewish. You get to ask questions and interpret things in your own way. It makes me want to learn more from the Torah since I know that it is like a mystery and I get to work it out myself. I also learned that, like Yitro, you should be open to other ways of thinking. He was a high priest of another religion, but when he saw what Adonai did, he worshipped Adonai. Yitro was also good at giving advice. Yitro suggested to Moses that doing things with others and sharing responsibilities is better than trying to do everything yourself. This is something I can relate to because I tend to try to do everything myself. I will remember when things get difficult that it is good to get help. I relate to the Torah portion in another important way. It made me think about how I feel about Judaism. Being Jewish to me means not being silent about an issue. Being Jewish to me also means that even though I might be judged or thought of differently, that I will still be proud of my religion. Becoming an adult Jew means I will act on all of these things. So for example, if I see people that are being judged or harassed for who they are, I will defend them and stand up for them. Now that I am a Jewish adult, I look forward to asking more questions. I would like to thank everyone for celebrating this important day with me and taking the time to spend it with me. For all the friends I have gained at school this past year, you guys have made this year one of the best. Starting a new school is always scary, but you guys have made it fantastic, and I appreciate you being here. Rabbi. I appreciate all of the work you have put into this service. I love our discussions together, and thank you so much for all of the things you have taught me in the years I have known you. Consonel.
Where's Constantine?
Right there. There she is. Without you, I honestly think my family would have made me late to everything. I look forward to when my parents go out of town and Renee and I get to eat your amazing food. I always enjoy our talks in the car, and thank you for being here with me. Uncle Stephen and Aunt Lori, thank you so much for coming all the way from Connecticut. I know I probably picked one of the worst times for you to be able to come down, but thank you for being here with me. Uncle Alan and Aunt Lisa, I have great memories of going on walks with you guys and Renee and baking cookies at your house. This was also probably a bad time for you to come down, but I am happy that you are here spending it with me. Nime. One of my favorite memories of you is when I was little and you would read me the book about the teddy bears having a picnic. I also remember you teaching me how to knit and how excited I was when you gave me a pair of knitting needles. I am so glad you are here to share this day with me. Renee. You are always begging me to watch TV shows that I am convinced I will not like, but when I do watch them, I end up loving them. You really know me so well. Although we might fight sometimes, thank you for all of the things you have taught me. You have shown me almost all of my favorite stuff. I love you. Dad. I love spending time with you. I love watching horror movies and eating salami together. I know that I will never beat you at wrestling, but I think that I am getting better at putting up a good fight. Thanks for always taking me to services, even though I know we will never make it on time. Thank you for all of the things you have shown me. I remember when you taught me how to ride a bike, and I love going for pad thai with you. Even though I might be a bit of a pain sometimes, I appreciate all that you do for me. I love you. Mom. Can you believe it's almost over? I knew I was going to have to work hard to make this day a success, but I can't believe how much effort you put into making sure everything was just right. I love our shopping trips when we only plan to get 2 things and end up with 30. Grocery shopping at Target is always fun, and I love getting Starbucks with you. I love going to Ulta with you and convincing you to buy something you don't think you need, but you end up loving. I always love talking about makeup, and that one time when we were in Dallas and your makeup got lost, so I did your makeup with my stuff and you loved it. I appreciate all that you have done for me, and I know I can always talk to you. I love you. Is it their turn?
Get ready. When the Torah is gone, you get to show her how sweet learning is. Go.
Whoa.
Go, go, go.
Wait, what?
Go.
No.
Stand,
Wait,
go,
now?
go. Now. Go, 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 go. Go. Now, now,
I'm
now.
being
Go, go.
melted. Oh my gosh.
Go, go. Go, go.
Oh my god. Stop.
Gently. 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 Learning is sweet. Gently. All right, Torah's coming back. Stop tossing. Torah's coming back. Stop tossing, stop tossing. Torah's coming back. I need all the kids or children at heart to come grab all this candy, please. Come clean it up. And no eating until we finish. Come on. Take the boxes and throw them in the boxes.
Oh no, I don't want to. Like, it is my, that is food, it's not. It's green. But you know what, I ate enough.
No eating now, no eating.
Mother.
Oh, come on. There's plenty more more candy up here. Come on up, grab all this. We can't keep going until you get it all. Come get it, come get it. Whoa, whoa. I'm glad you have lots of friends who can do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Clean it up, clean it up.
Who needs a vacuum when you have children?
That's exactly right. There's more all the way over here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this done?
Oh no, I see his speech. I'm afraid.
Yeah. Almost done? Oh, look, we got a whole giant pile over. Oh, cool. That was a sneaky one. Here's one. All right, please don't eat them until we finish the service. No trash in the sanctuary. Oh, my goodness. Look what happened. Ready? There's your box. You have really much is right. It's too big for your box. All right. Go back carefully. Whoop, you got it? Now, Mom and Dad want to say something to Abby. Please, come on up. You get to fight over who goes first. I don't remember who goes first. Okay, good. Arm wrestle? Okay, good. Okay, good. Nice.
Good job.
I'm afraid of what your speech is going to say.
Good job. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening and sharing in this wonderful simcha. Especially want to thank everybody who's come from out of town and from far away as well as from near. I want to thank Rabbi for working so hard with Abby and helping her prepare for this day. I'd like to thank Abby's Hebrew school teachers for helping to mold her Jewish identity. And I'd like to thank Michelle for helping me to raise a Jewish child, for making a Jewish home. For years of hosting Jewish holiday dinners and parties in the home, Jewish holiday activities at the school, and even allowing the local news channel to come in and broadcast from our living room what it looks like for Jews in their natural habitat to celebrate Hanukkah.
Nope. I didn't even know that
Yeah.
happened.
They did that one year.
We, neither Michelle or I, know what either one of us are going to say. We didn't see each other's speeches, and we actually fought about, well, not fought, we competed for who was going to go first. So, you know, there's lots of wonderful things I can say about Abby, and we could be here all day, but I thought I would focus on some of her particular strengths and things that make her, I think, particularly remarkable. But certainly this is not complete. When I think of Abby, the main word that comes to mind is strong. Is strong. And that strength was evident even before she was born. We really wanted her. She was definitely a wanted child, and we wanted her for years. Even her sister wanted her. She asked us for a baby sister when we asked her what she wanted for her birthday. And sure enough, on her birthday, she got a baby sister. It wasn't long before she reconsidered that and said, is it too late to trade her in for a puppy? But no, definitely Abby was wanted, and we tried very hard to get her. As typical for Abby, she didn't really want to come when she wasn't ready. And she had a mind of her own even as an egg. And so, sorry, just hold on. So ultimately, let's just say that her conception was forced upon her, and that was probably the last time we've gotten her to do something that she didn't want to do. Moving on. Even her delivery, she didn't want to come out.
Okay.
No. She didn't want to come out even during her delivery, and that needed to be, hold on, that needed to be forced too. So she's been very strong-willed from the very beginning. Her cry was very strong. in the nursery. You could hear her down the hall. She was pissed and she wanted everybody to know. But as a strong-willed child, she's also been physically very strong. And Abby is a very talented, we call it aerial gymnast. Acrobatic. Which, if you're not familiar with, these are the silks and the ropes that you climb up and you do flips and like circus performers you might see, or Cirque du Soleil. And Abby's very talented at this. She's been doing it for years, and she is incredibly strong. And she also likes to wrestle. And I have to say, she is a formidable opponent. And I'm a pretty big guy, and I got to tell you, I got to struggle when I wrestle with her. So she can definitely take care of herself. She's also quite fearless. You know, there have only really been 3 things that I can think of that Abby's been afraid of during her life. One of which, understandably, was she was afraid of the dark. For a little while, she was afraid of being abducted into human trafficking.
I remember that. I remember that phase.
And then she's
fifth
also
grade.
been afraid of David Brainus.
It's true, though. Just
She-
because he calls you out doesn't mean you have to call him out.
She's no longer afraid of the dark or of human trafficking, but
I'm not afraid.
But like many of us, she still harbors a healthy fear of David Brainerd.
That's not true.
Abby has a very strong sense of self. She knows who she is, whether she's wearing makeup and a dress or she's out playing in the woods like a tomboy. She knows that what she believes. She's very confident in her abilities and has strong leadership qualities. She doesn't take a back seat, and she definitely makes things happen. She has a strong personality, and she makes friends very easily. She recently switched schools in 7th grade and has adapted well and seems to fit in and has made a lot of friends very, very quickly. And from what I can tell, she goes toe-to-toe with the boys, which is no easy feat for a 7th grade girl. In the process, she's developed what I think is a pretty good sense of humor since being around these adolescent boys. And finally, she's starting to laugh at some of my jokes, although I don't think she really wants to. She has a very strong work ethic and strong sense of responsibility with the school and her schoolwork. She embraced the transfer to the new school, and she actually enjoys the rigorous curriculum there. She notes the hours of homework and the studying, which initially you think sounds like she's complaining, but she isn't. She actually says she loves it because she feels like she's learning. She's very competitive, but only with herself. She's never satisfied with less than a top grade and doesn't like it when she doesn't know something. She takes a lot of pride in doing her own work and generally doesn't like to ask for help, as you mentioned earlier. Interestingly, she went from one school that didn't really have traditional tests to another school that did have, traditional school, and she prepared for her first test, and she didn't do very well. And she came home, and we said, "How'd you do on your test?" And she says, "I failed it." And we thought she'd be upset, and she wasn't upset. And she said, "Well, why did you fail it? Did you not know the material?" She said, "No, I knew the material perfectly." I said, "But you didn't do well on the test." She said, "That's right." And so we couldn't agree that the test was a good measure of her knowledge. And basically what she said was, "I never took a test before, but that won't happen again." And it never did. She was very confident about that. She's very disciplined. She sets an alarm for a number of things, including washing her face in the evening. She wakes up in the morning to an alarm, and she's the first one up. She's never late, and she's the one that keeps everyone on time. She particularly hates being late to anything. She has an extremely strong sense of right and wrong and fairness, as she alluded to in her speech. She wants to present and argue her side, particularly when she feels that she isn't being heard or understood or treated fairly, and often stands up for others, even to authority. I believe that while this sometimes gets her in trouble, I think that as an adult, this trait is going to serve her very well. She also stands up for her sister repeatedly, and we've seen this when she feels that her parents are being unfair to her sister. She'll stand up to us and defend her. Recently, some older teenage boys came to the house that her older sister didn't really know, and they were acting kind of jerky. And Abby went out to defend her sister and stood up and went toe-to-toe with them too, even though they were considerably bigger, and I think she scared them away. And she stands up for other kids, for their rights, for those that she thinks are being treated unfairly. And not surprisingly, she wants to be a judge, which I think is particularly timely, the Torah portion about the laws and the Ten Commandments, because she wants to go into law. I don't think you want to be a lawyer, though. I think you want to go straight. You want to straight to the judge.
I have to be a lawyer
Right.
first, but like.
But if there's a way for her to jump over that, she'll be straight to the judge, which actually is also very appropriate because she has very strong opinions. She's very inquisitive. She listens to adult conversations, asks questions, forms opinions very quickly, and even as a young age, that was very evident. When she was 6, we were flying into Miami and going to the Florida Keys, and we were coming out of the rental car agency, and I was kind of stressed because I didn't know where I was going to go, and there was all this traffic, and it wasn't clear. We didn't have GPS. And Abby at 6 in the back seat telling me where to go. Turn here, and
I didn't know where to go.
but no, you knew. You knew where to go. So in any event, she also has very strong political views, and that was obvious at a very young age as well. Her kindergarten teacher would often pull me over in carpool and share with me some things that Abby had expressed to her. She would ask questions about things you normally don't hear from kindergarten kids. Like she wanted to know about, what are taxes, and tell me about the presidential candidates, and what's the difference in their views. And then she'd quickly form her own views as to the inherent unfairness of the redistribution of wealth as she saw it. But at the same time, she can be very charitable, and that is unless she feels that someone is taking advantage. And it all comes down to what's fair and what's right and wrong. She has some progressive views. She believes in equal opportunity for everybody without regard for gender, faith, orientation, race, social or economic status. And as part of her Bat Mitzvah project, she was going to share a portion of her gifts with the Southern Poverty Law Center, which I think, again, speaks to her sense of fairness and standing up for the disadvantaged. So, Abby, your mother and I are very proud of you. I admire you, and I know that you're going on to do great things. I love you.
Okay. All right. So Abby,
Go to the mic.
okay. Yeah, I'm very proud. I know I got to get through this without crying. Okay. I'm very proud of you. I'm also very grateful. I'm very grateful for everyone who came to celebrate with us tonight. I'm very grateful for all the people who helped make it happen, and I'm so grateful that neither you nor the rabbi got the flu, because that has been my biggest anxiety. And I think in about 1 minute, I'm going to be grateful for waterproof mascara. Okay, so we did not compare speeches, and so there might be some overlap. I apologize. But as I write your speech, I think about you from the very beginning. From the very beginning, you have been one of my greatest teachers. Okay, you've taught me a lot. You were a child that was very much wanted and wished for, but you did not come easy. And you taught me a lot about patience and hope and not giving up. And when you were a little girl, you're going to remember this, every night I would read your story and I would tuck you in and I would say to you, Abby, why did God send us to you? Why did God send us?
Complete the family.
Right, to complete the family. And that was just one of the many important roles you're going to play in life, okay? And from the beginning, I remember when you were little, and Rabbi used to describe you as a big ball of love. And then we soon learned that that huggy, kissy ball of love had extremely strong opinions. You found your voice early in life, which is a good thing. Some people, it takes them a long time to find their voice. But you always had a clear sense of justice, of what is right and wrong. You are your own young woman. And we joke that you think Ruth Bader Ginsburg is personally holding her spot on the Supreme Court for you to come and fill it. But I do think that your personal characteristics of a desire for justice and the ability to use your voice are just two of the many gifts that will take you very far in life. You also have a strong work ethic, whether it's 9th grade algebra or aerial acrobatics. You view them both as a challenge. At first approach, it's very hard, but if you stick with it, you can master it, and you take on the challenge. It's what psychologists call grit, and you have a lot of grit. Like when we went to Mexico and nobody could get on the internet, not even Dad, and we all gave it up, and the next thing I look over and you're in the hotel room streaming Netflix because you were very determined. You have a lot of grit. Being Jewish means being a minority and being different, and sometimes that's really hard for an adolescent girl when the goal is to blend, but you have always stuck with your principles of what is right and wrong, and you never denied who you were, and I'm very proud of you. So tonight, watching my smart, poised daughter lead service has been one of my many proud moments of being your mother. And over your course of Bat Mitzvah studies, you have learned from the rabbi about the transition to childhood to adulthood. You studied about the importance of being responsible for your actions, for recognizing that as a Jewish adult, you will have obligations to society, to your community, to your family and friends. And when you listen to Dad and Renee discuss politics, you know that you're going to face a lot of challenges. But as I witnessed your growth and your personality characteristics, I have no doubt, Abigail Lilly, that you will be able to fulfill the Torah's commandments of Tikkun Olam to repair the world. So my wish for you is that you take all of your gifts, and I've mentioned only a few, and that you go out in the world and you make it a better place. And I'm so proud of you. I love you.
You didn't need that many tissues, as I
I
thought.
know. I'm
Could
very
you
good.
come back over here for 1 second?
Okay.
Put your hands on her head.
My head.
Yep. And shoulders and head. And say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Praised are you, God, because you gave us life and you sustained us and you caused us to make this special moment a special moment for everyone.
Where am I going now? Am I sitting?
No, everybody gets to stand now. We are now going to be returning the Torah to the Ark, and we continue on page 146-ish, I think.
I'm going to steal my little book here.
Let's turn to 146. And I need my Ark openers to come up, please. And we're in the middle of 146. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the eternal God whose name alone is exalted. Hodol eretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren le'amo tehila lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am keruvo. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. God's teaching is perfect, reviving the soul. God's precepts are right, delighting the mind. God's doctrine is pure, enduring forever. Behold, behold, a good, I didn't mean that, sorry. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you, my Torah. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast. All who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha mehushar diracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu Kikedem. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. Not letting you. I got your back. You can't sit. Sorry, you can't sit, because now we have ladies first. There are gifts for you now. Yeah, you can. Put it on your chair, maybe, because you'll be sitting back there again. So, there are people from the congregation who would like to give you gifts. This. Come on up close.
Mazel tov. It's an extreme pleasure for me personally and on behalf of the women of B'nai Zion Sisterhood to give you this gift. I myself have known you since you were an infant. I have known you since you were a happy, bouncy, smiley, chatty little girl. And now you have morphed into this beautiful teenage person who hangs by her toes and is still happy and chatty, and I love you very much. And on behalf of the women of B'nai Zion, I present you with this set of Shabbat candle holders. Use them in your home now and forever and ever, wherever your home may be. And think of them as a reminder of this very happy time in your life. And we love you. And I'll take a hug for that.
We now have Mitch Newstad is going to come up and do the Brotherhood presentation, because Mitch likes to make people cry. He's the most emotional guy we have.
I'm going to ask David to please join me also, please.
No.
It's okay. He's going to behave.
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
All right.
It's going to be all right.
I relax.
Stick with it.
The reason I did that is I've done this for a lot of years, presenting prayer books. I presented the certificates. It's because of my position in the temple. David is supposed to really do this because he is president of the Brotherhood. Traditionally, the Brotherhood president done it. Well, Joe did it for, I don't know how many years, 10, 15 years, as president of the Brotherhood, and if he wasn't there, we all take turns and share. So this would probably be your first time to get to do it as president.
No.
As the president of the Brotherhood.
No.
One other time? Okay.
You're the first.
That's all right.
It's okay.
It's okay. And there was I got asked last week to do it, and I was happy. I'm more than happy to do it. And then David didn't know that I was going to do it, and he's looking at me. And so I'm not going to slight anybody on those things. But Abby, we're very proud of you and how well you've done. You may not know this, but I've been friends with your parents since I first got here. And about 6 months later, your sister arrived. And your dad took care of me, made sure that I'm here today, and saw that I got the right treatment for cancer. So that's very important. And I've always been able to call on him when I needed. He knew he could call on me when he needed me. Your mom also. So with that, I'm very pleased to see you. I'm very pleased to see the person you are and how strong you are. Of course, I was looking up and trying to find a hook for the streams, but she told me she would do that for confirmation, so y'all come back. You're going to be shocked, huh? You'll think, I hope he's not that kid. But, so with that, I'm going to let David hand you your prayer book, and congratulations.
I'll have to say something.
You could say something, not much though.
I have to say something, because it's just so, no, I've known Abby all her life. She's a fantastic girl. I have no idea why she's afraid of me. And,
I'm not anymore.
Anymore, okay. And the fact that I'm such good friends with your dad, I tried to push that out of the way and have an unbiased opinion of you. And you're a great girl. You're fantastic. And I know you will make a judge someday. And hopefully the Supreme Court will have another Jewish female judge on the Supreme Court. And this will be with you to remind you this is the place you were born, and this is where your home is. So always come back. Okay, I know your parents came from far away and moved here with your dad's job and your mom all the way from Canada, but this is your home, okay, and it'll always be your home. All right, congratulations. Was that bad?
Thank you.
Great job.
We now call up the president of the congregation. He has a few words to say. You really don't have to be scared of David. This is for you. You're still, come up, come up, come up. We're not done yet, so you get this and this.
Okay. So Abby, periodically, Rabbi gives me an update on how her students are coming along. And I can remember on one occasion when she said, you know, Abby is really nervous about this, but I really don't think it's going to be a problem. And one thing I've learned is that Rabbi and my wife are always right. And so I didn't consider that, as she said, you know, an issue. If you were nervous, we couldn't tell. If you were nervous today and you overcame that by doing this, well, that's one of the benefits of going through this situation. It kind of teaches you, as well as becoming a Jewish adult, it teaches you how to get in front of people and to put aside some of those fears and whatnot. I want to congratulate you and give you your certificate. You're all done now. No reason to be concerned anymore. You made the cut. You did a great job, and we appreciate you being part of this service and part of our community.
Thank you.
Gary, you get to stay. She gets to sit.
I get to sit.
Yeah, you get to sit. There's stuff to say.
Okay.
Say what you want out of there.
Thanks to the Sorkis for blessing the candles and the kiddush. Mazel tov to Abby. Thank you for leading the service as a bat mitzvah. Sandy and Michelle Katz will be hosting a special Oneg Shabbat dinner following the service, and hope that everyone will stay to celebrate with their family. We will have Torah study at 9:45 tomorrow morning. This Tuesday, you are invited to gather for a Together Tuesday at 6 p.m. under the Texas Street Bridge. People of all faiths and backgrounds are welcome to visit together. Meet with Rabbi Jana in front of or inside Le Bon Temps Coffee Bar. Next Friday, we will celebrate everyone with birthdays or anniversaries in February at our Simcha Shabbat. The extra Shabbat service, which we're now calling a Lanyap Shabbat service, will not be held this month. Watch for it at 7:15 p.m. the second Friday in March. 2 weeks from tonight, February 16th and 17th, Gabrielle Miller will help lead the services and be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. A special Oneg Shabbat Friday and a Kiddush luncheon on Saturday are being hosted by her family. We will not have Torah study on the morning of the bat mitzvah. B'nai Zion, Agudath Hakim, and the Jewish Federation are sponsoring a bus ride February 18th to the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum and the Mississippi History Museum. The fee for the bus ride and the museum admission is $10 for adults and $5 for children 18 and under. The remaining bus seats are still available on a first-come, first-served basis. Please make payments to the B'nai Zion office in person or online. If we do not fill the bus from the Jewish community, we will offer round-trip bus ride and museum tickets to the broader community for $50 per person. We will leave at 8 a.m. and stop for lunch on the way there and dinner on the way home. The last Thursday, the 22nd of February, Rabbi Jana will start a beginner's biblical Hebrew class. Biblical Hebrew is not only valuable to study the Torah and the rest of the Hebrew scriptures in their original, but it is a foundation for liturgical and conversational Hebrew as well. Contact the rabbi with any questions. We apologize that the bulletin is delayed this month. We have had a lot of technical difficulties. It should be available in your mailbox and online this week. Donations were made to B'nai Zion or for Pulpit Flowers in loving memory of Louis Feinberg by Bobby Goodman, in loving memory of Kenneth Gompertz by Claire Mizell and family, in loving memory of Surf Hirsch by Jan Pittman. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep, almost done. So, I'm sorry, though, you got to stand up one more time. because now I get to tell you, whoop, I think my mic's not on, is it? Ha, I turned it off for all the special parts. Need some? You good? Okay, good. They're right here if you need them. So it's my turn to say some things for you, because it's been really fun. We get to this point, and almost every student says that the hardest part about the Bat Mitzvah, once you realize that the service is here, is that we don't get to hang out together anymore during the week. I mean, ask. They'll tell you. And I think we need to, like, take that time, the Tuesday, Thursdays, or whatever it is, and start, like, hanging out at Rhino or something, because we miss, talking about everything. I learned an awful lot from you, and I've enjoyed getting to work with you. Your Torah portion and I have an idea. Now that I know you want to be a judge, and you think you have to first be a lawyer to be a judge, just be a rabbi. You get to jump right to judge. It's really cool. Think about it. I'm just saying, think about it. You do a good job, and you could be a rabbi. I'll be your cantor. We could do that.
Power team.
Seriously, give me what? Yes. The Torah portion today, as we said, has to do also with standing at Sinai. And the thing that I want you to always remember about that is that you are standing, and you're really good at the standing with and standing for, but you're always standing with, and you're standing with this people. You promise you're going to do confirmation where you get to do the Torah portion again, and you get to show that you are willing, and again, to take on these responsibilities. One of the things about being Jewish, and we talked about this in different ways, but it struck me today as I was thinking about the whole of the Torah portion, is that I think that what's different about being Jewish than most other faiths is that it's not about what you believe, it's about what you do. And so being Jewish for you is kind of the perfect thing, because you are a doer. I've said to her many times in the past few weeks, she'll tell me this concept that kind of blows my mind about how she feels about God or about how you treat people or things like that, and it blows my mind, and I say, you know what? I love that you think that, and this is what I want you to promise me, that you won't only think that forever, that you'll change your mind throughout the years, because I've watched her grow, and that's one of the beauties of Judaism, is you can keep struggling with it, and each time you might see something different, as what you said in your Torah portion. So now I need your indulgence for a moment. We are going to have a moment in front of the ark where I'm going to say a very quiet thing to her to give her a little private blessing, private in front of everybody, and then we are going to go to the Aleinu, which is on page 148. So we are going to walk over. You could use your special book if you want.
I can use my special
Turn to 148, put your finger in there, and come and help me open the ark. As again, once the ark is open, this time it's me and Abby opening the ark. Abby and me, both of us.
There we go.
There you go.
Cool.
Ready? עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגוי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And on the facing page we sing, V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. you're sitting. You get to sit. You're kind of done. So the part that I haven't mentioned yet is that we really appreciate that since we had a simcha here, that Agudath Achim does not have services tonight at their synagogue. So I'm going to ask the cantor to come up, please, because he's got a list, I believe, of Yortzeit names. We share this. We read. We say Kaddish together. But as he's coming up, and I think the one announcement, the big announcement that I think that's important that we didn't say that you have is that next Friday night, which is why we canceled our lanyap service, next Friday night you have a family service at 7, correct? So if you have any kids and you want to hear a fun story and hang out, Kentor's there for you at 7 o'clock next week. So one of the things that we do is we let you know about the people who normally are running into dangerous situations to protect us. We have lost 3 military this year already. We've lost 8 police officers, 1 from Louisiana, and 2 canine police officers just in the year 2018 so far. And we've lost 5 firefighters already this year and 1 from Louisiana. And we make a note of acknowledging that these are the people who run into danger on our account, and we pray that their families are consoled and that their memories are a blessing, and that we always appreciate these people who run into dangerous situations. We also today give our condolences to David Branis, who lost his brother-in-law. Bart Lester passed away this week. We're sorry for your loss. We turn to page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We turn to page 153. Life is finite. Like a candle, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, then it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There's an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us in the past 30 days. Our congregation remembers especially Janet Pachter Stewart, and now Bart Lester.
And we are in Shloshim for Carol Goodman and Ruth Slutsky.
And the parents of our the congregants' parents who died within this past year are Shirley Seligman and Stephen Muslow. As we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. So the 2 congregations have a different tradition. So the Agudath Achim remembers those whose Yortzites will come in the coming week. And our congregation remembers those whose Yortzites occurred this past week. So I will read our names first. Those for whom we observed Yortzites this past week include Samuel Atkins, Ruby S. Blumenthal, Cecile Lemley Childs, Louis Feinberg, Carol L. Gam, Kenneth Gompertz, Surf Hirsch, Morris Hirsch, Mrs. Saul Kaplan, Soretta Crom, Sadie Cooperman, Lillian Mandel, Cheryl S. Morris, Armand Roos Jr., Jack Rubin, and Morris Rubin.
And this coming week, we will observe the Yortzites of Chana F. Lurie and Rachel H. Groner.
In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The mourner's Kaddish is found on 154. The English is on 155. You're welcome to join our voices. Either way, it's a prayer of praise for God. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated unless you are Gabby. Thanks. Now, next, the family, the Katz family would like to invite you, come on up, would like to invite you to, no, you're done. Oh, wait, Marguerite wants to help. Come on up. Marguerite can help. Right? Yay. She missed the part about if you didn't get the, whatever. It's okay. We needed her. It takes two people to hold on to this anyway. So, Gabby's our next bat mitzvah in 2 weeks. Marguerite is almost ready for her bat mitzvah, I think. Ready? Okay, hold on to that, please. In order for you to eat the meal that they have prepared for us, that's what I was ready to say. We first say this blessing. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Your voice is moving. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz v'te'ah. Amen. All right, I'm going to hold the plate and you guys grab. Grab. Oh, yeah. It's the whole thing goes to you guys, so take it back to your families. You take that part. Please rise for the closing benediction. Sandy, if I knew you were going to talk so long, I would have made her Torah portion shorter. Come here. Come here. You can help me point. Ready? Use your finger like this. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face, can you feel it? Light of God's face shine, can't feel it? Shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem shalom. May God's face look up to you. May God always find the thing that God looks up to you about. And may God grant you peace and lots of simchas. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov.